Alrighty, gamers, welcome in to Retro Time. I am No Such Time, and in this video today, I want to go over my set of top 5 games for 2023. Now, these are games that are both old and newer, or games that came out the year previously, or even years and years ago. But this is my selection of games I played this year alone that I haven't played yet. They're in my stash. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'm going on. All right. So my first one here is a brand newer game that like a not brand newer, but a newer game that just released just like about I want to say a month ago, and that is Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Okay, good game. I enjoy it. I've enjoyed playing through it. I'm still playing through it. It's not exactly the top game for me this year. For the fact that it's very similar to other Mario games. You know, a lot of similarities, but a lot of stuff is different in this game. So that's why this is gonna be my number five. So, number five for me is Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So, number four. I have not played this game before this year, and this is my first time playing it, and I really really enjoyed it. And I'm gonna go back to it again eventually. It reminds me a lot of like it's just a basic reminder of how games used to be. If I was to compare it to anything, it has a lot of experiences like from the Zelda 64 era, or in general, like kind of remind me of like how Zelda was, where you run through temples and all that. But it's not Zelda. It's a completely different game, but it's comparable the way it's all set up. And that game is Metroid Prime Remastered for number four. This game was amazing. I love the graphics in this game. The gameplay was really good. A bit isolated, but still really, really fun. And what I mean by isolated is there's not much there is a story there, but I guess I didn't turn on the announcer and I played through the game as it is, and I was just like, what is this? This is kind of like really isolated. But now I'll go back and I'll probably just turn that announcer on and play through this again at some point. I really, really like this, so that's why this is number four. So, yeah, let's move on to number three. Now, number three for me is there's multiple games on this. Okay, so number three for me specifically one game on this multi-pack sticks out for me, and that's because I really, really liked it, and it's what really made me get into the series itself as a whole. And now, that game is and this is one of the old games, but that game is Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection. Okay, Mega Man Zero 2 is great. It's amazing. And play Mega Man Zero, but play Mega Man Zero. Make sure you play Mega Man Zero 2. It is I want to say it's very hard, but it has very very good story behind it, and I really like the way it played. It's not a newer game. It is very 2D Game Boy Advance art style. So if you're into that kind of stuff, this would be a game that I would suggest. And graphically, it looks pretty. Okay, it's very artsy, I want to say, and it's drawn completely different. It's not pixelated. It's the best way to describe it is somebody that's actually sat down and had drawn a bunch of the imagery in this game. So that's what it looks like to me. But just really really cool graphics, very very good, very very fun gameplay. Can get exhausting at times, can upset you, can make you feel like you want to break your controller, but very, very good gameplay in general. I do suggest playing these if you haven't had a chance. This was that game I sat on like most of the year playing because like literally there's like 6 games on here and I spent most of my time just trying to get through all of them, and I played through like two twice because I had to go back and refix some things. So yeah, very very good games in general. Please go play them. So now let's move on to the next one. So my last two here are very very they're how do I want to say, they're very very big open world kind of story games, but um and they are very, very important games to the Nintendo franchises, in my opinion. I really like these because of the way they're told. Now, my last two here are my favorite games of all this year, and that's why I picked them. So, um, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Now, I gotta go and download the DLC for this, the Future Redeemed. But this was really, really good. I like graphically how it looks. Xenoblade Chronicle never let you down in the graphics department. It is the most vast and beautiful thing. I still remember going back and playing Xenoblade Chronicles 1. The stories are different, but they all connect. They all intertwined. So what I like about this is it took stories 1 and 2 and put it together, but graphically it is beautiful. I don't know, it's really, really hard to explain. Um like the Xenoblade world in general, it always looks cool to me, and it makes you feel like you're completely small. And the Xenoblade stories themselves, they make you feel like you watch some like huge movie. And the gameplay and the just everything in the game is really, really good. Now, I don't know what Future Redeem is about yet because I got to get around to playing that. But Xenoblade Chronicles 3, really, really good. If you haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles at all, I suggest doing so. Play 1, play 2, play 3. They're all good. Play the DLC to 2. I have a copy of that back there, which I have open and I already played it. But I'm gonna go back and play these again because they're such great stories that, this was the ending to this story itself, and it connected very well, and it was very, very, it was built very well, and just very, very good gameplay and storytelling in general. So that is why this made number 2. And you can all kind of guess what I'm getting at with this last one. Now, this one here was, we waited a long time for this one, okay? We a lot of people out there were pretty much hyping this thing up to no end, and we really, really were wanting this. So my last one, and it's not gonna be a surprise because some of the stuff is back there, like items and all that. But for me, number one was Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I spent over 100 hours on this thing, and I explored so much on this thing. I encountered glitches. The boss battle was it was really set up good. Now, I will say this gameplay, it was great, but the story wasn't exactly as good as it should have been. There's a lot missing to it, but I still like this game in general. This game is going to sit at top 10, the number one spot for me for 2023. There's no other game right now that I could say out of this pile that I would actually want to go back and play. I actually had a lot of fun playing this. And no matter what you think about this game, you can have your own opinion. You can tell me how, and even though Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year, this for me is my Game of the Year. This for me is that game that I've chose to pick as the Game of the Year, specifically not because I'm a fan, but because I just genuinely enjoyed the game in general. Um, and that's the thing about video games is like you go into games looking to have fun. You don't go into games because the story or something like. Yes, we go in for story, but for me, the game is to have a good game. You have to have good gameplay. Okay, and that's why this is gonna sit at number one for me for 2023. And there's games out there I still haven't played yet, but for me, this is it. This is that game because I legit played everything. I had everything this year. I just showed you are games I've played this year in general. And like I said, this wasn't going to consist of an old and a new. This wasn't going to consist of all new games. This was going to consist of old and new games. So that's why, again, this sits as number one. And that's why my whole entire stack here, I specifically chose it upon what I played this year and what I really enjoyed. Now, my thing is there's other games down here that you know that I've already played before. In fact, I'm playing Skyward Sword again, but they're not gonna make it into this pile because it wasn't the ones I tried yet for this year. Now, like I tried Starfield, and Starfield's good, but it wasn't enough to make it into this pile. And you can call me a Nintendo show all you want, but these are games I really really enjoyed this year. Um, uh, I didn't play too many games like I wanted to because there was a lot coming out, and of course I can't afford it because I still work an average job. But you know, there are so many games I played this year. I played more than I could, but like right now, I'm playing through something, and then I'm about to go play Tomb Raider. So, but again, this is my top five for 2023. And what are your top five for 2023? And you can make it an old or new roster if you want. Let me know down in the comment section what your top five games are, and I don't know. I guess that's it for me. We'll see what 2024 brings for me. My game collection is going to get bigger, and 2024 is going to have more games, and then there's going to be games I'm going to be playing from this year. So there's still games that I need to go out and buy from this year that I haven't played in previous years. But this year I wanted to make this into a yearly thing solely because I felt like it was beneficial for me at this point to do because these are games I literally sat here and played all throughout the year. If my other channel was still around, I'd be putting that up there, but things change and people don't like certain things, so you have to move on. And that's why again, this is my top 5. What are your top 5? Comment down in the comment section below. And until next time, guys, if you like what you saw here, hit that like button. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Also, if you did like what you saw here and you subscribe, hit the notification bell to get more from me. And we'll have this again next year around this time. So, all right. Until then, guys. Until then, gamers. Sorry. Keep gaming and take it easy.